So if you've been hearing about digital nomads or reading about them in articles and watching them on videos, you're probably wondering, who are these mystical creatures that are doing things that I want to do right now while I'm still stuck in a cubicle? So today we want to share with you some videos of real people and real stories from our co-working space here, Hubud in Bali. And they're here to tell you how they got started, what business they're in now, and what life looks like for them today.
Hi, my name is Ben Katzman. I used to work in retail and wholesale, selling clothing and accessories to resorts and boutiques around the US. Now I live in Bali and Florida and have a social enterprise called Wanderer Bracelets, where we make bracelets like these that are sold around the world.
Hey, I'm Lee Watson. I used to work in Chicago in an industrial design firm in the marketing department. Now I've kind of gone out on my own. I work as a marketing consultant at supremeoptimization.com, and I help with social media, where I help businesses figure out how to use Twitter.
Hi, my name is Hayley Hogan and I'm an ex-marketing manager from Sydney, where I worked in the film and event industries. I now live in beautiful Bali, where I work as a fiction editor and romance writer. All my work can be found on katehogan.com.
I started thinking about alternative ways to live and work and what I really wanted to do with my life. My freshman year of college, in my Introduction to Management class, a professor was a little out of the box and made us read the book, The 4-Hour Workweek. A couple years later, I was invited by a furniture designer from Florida who lives in Bali most of the year to come and check it out and see what I wanted to do and hang out at a place called Hubud. And I bought a ticket, sold everything I had, jumped on a plane, and didn't know what was next.
So the reason that I left was because I was laid off. I think, like myself, a lot of people have read The 4-Hour Workweek, and in the back of my head, I had always had this idea of escaping the 9-to-5. I was fortunate to have been shoved off the cliff.
I thought that I had the dream job, working and living in Sydney Harbour in the film industry, which is obviously an industry that's highly competitive. There are always 1,000 people waiting to replace me if I ever chose to walk out. So leaving the 9-to-5 wasn't high on my list of priorities. But I was thrown out of the 9-to-5 in a lot of ways. The company that I worked for crumbled, and suddenly I was left looking at this idyllic lifestyle, so I had thought, where I realized that I'd invested so much time and energy into someone else's dream, a dream that I ultimately had zero control over. So after a period of a few months, I realized that in fact what I really was looking for was creative freedom, and moving to Bali and starting my own business was the way I achieved that. And the most exciting thing about that is that every day I'm investing more in my own journey, and no one can take that from me. And so that's why I believe so much in this lifestyle and what it offers people.
Over the past year since moving to Bali, I've learned so much. I've taken on new skills from graphic design to video editing to marketing and website design, and realized that I had to learn how to do these things to be able to scale my company. But I hit a certain point where I couldn't do everything myself and had to bring on additional people to the team, and have had to learn to manage them. So it's been an incredible learning opportunity, and I've developed lots of skills that I can take with me for the rest of my life.
I think the main difference for me now is that instead of spending my time convincing upper-level management that social media matters, now I'm able to help people who are genuinely interested in it. So it's kind of a win-win. I'm able to share my skills and really help teach people locally.
I think that the huge insight that I've had from this journey has been that life doesn't have to be split into work time and dream time, or the time when you're clocked on and the time when you have your time off and your holidays. It can all be one beautiful journey where you are creatively inspired and working and making money at the same time. The perfect day for me now involves living in my pajamas, reading for 6 to 8 hours a day and being paid for it instead of coming home from a job so that I could have some time off to read, and just enjoying a huge amount of freedom. I do what I want on my terms, and I think the scariest thing about that is that once you've experienced it, you can never go back to working for someone else on their terms. But if that's the price that I have to pay, then I'm happy to pay it.
I would say the tip that I would give anyone who's looking to make this step is to give yourself the time and freedom to explore what you want to be doing. versus jumping at the first shiny object or way to make a dollar and be free, I think it would be a lot more beneficial for you to spend a decent amount of time exploring what you're really passionate about, what skills you have, and how you want to be living your life and giving back to the world.
So for years, what I struggled with was anxiety and not knowing what step to take next, especially when starting my own business. And the one thing that helped me more than anything was very simple, is just setting a set practice of meditating every day when I wake up. It helped me to take the thoughts, the future thoughts out of my head and just bring me into what it is that I have to do right now. I think you might be surprised at how much you can get done and accomplish when instead of thinking about what might happen, you do what it is that you need to do right now.
The one thing that I would encourage you to think about on your journey is to develop a sense of having faith. We live in a time where people, millions of people, are connected via the internet. Small business has never been bigger, and any skill that you have to share with the world, there is someone out there waiting to connect with it and take advantage of it. And if you allow that to be the center of this core of confidence that you have, that out there you can help people, regardless of how niche your specific skill set might be, know that you can leap into the void and there will be people to catch you. You might need guidance from mentors and you might need to put in quite a lot of blood, sweat and tears, but it will happen. So stay the course and enjoy the ride, and you will get there in the end.
As you can see, the people that have managed to escape their 9-to-5 and craft up a career and lifestyle on their terms have started where you are. So being able to hear stories of real people and their real stories can inspire you to think of the possibility for you too. So the next question is, what would be your path to craft up that dream life for you? So click on the link to find out the next intake for the next 9 to Thrive in Bali, and we hope to see you here soon.